Well, folks, it's 5 o'clock in the morning. It's time to head to work, make some slings on this fine Sunday morning. Cold too, I think it's 28 degrees, something like that out there. So I'm gonna go get me some breakfast, and then I'll show you some more slings to be made. Well, I'm still rolling along. It's a 45-mile drive from my house to the shop. It's not too bad, as long as traffic ain't bad. There ain't hardly no traffic this morning, but usually it's about bumper to bumper during the week. And going home's even worse. Oh no, my fuel tank's empty. Yep, my fuel tank's empty. I gotta get me some bacon and eggs and hash browns, sausage, biscuits. You gotta have fuel to work. Well, got my tank full. Now I'm too sleepy to work. I'm telling you. But anyway, here we are. Good old custom sling. I want to tell you something I just seen. I figured to be a young person that done this. Now, it was an older lady. I come up the traffic stop, and it's 4 lanes with a turning lane in it. She's coming from the other direction, coming towards me. Boy, in a Mercedes. Boy, she was flying. I didn't think she was gonna stop. I thought she was gonna T-bone the cars coming across. Well, she stopped. And then she decided to turn right from the far left lane, which she had to cross 1 lane. So I said, well, she's gonna go down Trinity Lane there. Well, what she did, she turned right, then come around. I thought she was gonna make a U-turn and go back the other way. No, and then went back straight again. So she went around the red light in the intersection, I thought. And then immediately after she done it, the light changed. I thought, what an idiot. Why do people need to drive that way? You're not gonna get anywhere any faster. But anyway, I thought I'd throw that in before I started this round sling that I gotta do. Anyway, that's my rant for today, I think. Well, folks, we're gonna be making a CR12 by 16 foot with the sleeve on the body sewn down the middle and 2 3-foot sleeves in the eye. So I'll kind of show you bits and pieces of how this is done, but I've already cut one cover and I'm going to melt the ends here so they don't ravel on us. I have used a torch on it before, a little propane torch, but it wants to draw it up too much and closes it in, so I like doing it that way. It just seems to do a better job. Now what I'm going to do is I went ahead and cut the other sleeve there, melted the ends, but I'm going to cut these in half. And the reason why is we got a roller down there that turns. Smaller slings I don't cut the covers in half, but on these bigger ones I have to put a lot more pressure on it. And with that end rolling, it takes a lot less friction on the motor, and I can make a better looking sling that way. And plus, I don't risk cutting the cover. So you'll see that later on when I'm doing it. But I'm going to go ahead and cut these in half and melt them. And we'll get back to the next shot here in a minute. Now what I'm going to do is I got to flip these covers back. And basically just turn them inside out. And pull each end down. One end I do about 1.5 feet, the other end about 3 foot. Contraption here that kind of helps me a little bit once you get it started anyway. There we go. basically what you do. I gotta do all four of these in. I won't bore you with all that. We'll cut it out to the next shot. Now, I gotta get this string right here through this cover, through both pieces. And what this is a leader cord. That's what you tie all your yarns to make your wraps. So we'll get that stuck in there. And I done tied it on the end. I've got a bar here, and we'll just run it through it. We just do it like this here. Pull it up like that. I've had some people complaining that you couldn't see because somebody be standing in the front of it or something like that. Well, we don't have a cameraman, and I just started doing this for the fun of it because I knew people like to see things done. So I want to spend most of my time manufacturing, because you don't make no money carrying a camera around, unless you're lucky like some of them YouTubers, and I ain't. But anyway, well, I'm trying to do the best I can. I've seen comments from people, and I've taken it in consideration, and we'll try to do things a little better. But once again, I ain't a professional at that, but I am at this. So, you know, I'm doing the best I can, and I really appreciate the comments and everybody that's watched. So, yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this sleeve off, but I'm going to hold this string here. Like so. And then pull this one up and clamp this one. Just so they both pull off at the same time and I don't pull my string out. Hope y'all can see me way down here. Oop. Just about did what I said I wasn't going to do. But I caught it. Alright, let's clamp that back together before I get myself in trouble. Sometimes I use vice grips on that, and I should have used them that time, but it caught down there is what happened. Well, anyway, there's that process, and we'll get to the next one. Okay, I've got her all strung up here, wrapped it around here. This sleeve will stay here. I don't know if you can see it down there, but down there I've got a pair of vice grips, and I'll take the camera down there in a minute. But anyway, that's all there is to it. Now we're going to go down to the other end. Yeah, if you can see that right there, what I did, see this roller here, it turns. I can lock it down or let it turn. Sorry for the jumpy camera, the foot's hitting on the everything. So anyway, that's what we're going to do here. This is the leader cord. We're going to make a loop in that there. Tie it right there. Now some of this I'll show you. Some of it I won't, because how many wraps I put in these things. It took a lot of work for me to figure them out. I'm all tangled up down here in this thread, so I'm looking down. Yeah, I had to do a lot of brake tests. Because the people that see the machine, they don't know how to make slings. You own your own at that point. They'll tell you kinda, but they don't know themselves. But anyway, we'll pull that tight as we can. And I hope you can see that. That off here. And left my scissors at the other end. I forgot something that I was not going to forget to do. And you'll see what it is in a minute. I got to take this back down.
Yeah, I kept telling myself, don't forget it, don't forget it. But when I'm concentrating on this, I ain't concentrating on that. And I can't multitask. Okay, I'm back where I was. That's what I forgot to put on. And you know, it's like, really? How do you forget something like that? Well, I did. It's just part of it. It's like one of them moments where you go, really? Did I just do that? So anyway, we're back at it. So now I've got my strings up here and we're going to tie these on. This is another one of them boring parts. Ooh, I ate that breakfast this morning. Had what they call city ham. You talking about thirsty. That stuff had some salt in it. I'll make some water here in a minute. I tell you what, my other videos done well thanks to you people. Y'all get me on up there where I've been wanting to be. So, really appreciate that. I've never in my life had so many views that fast. So, either I did something right, or YouTube did something right. I won't blame it on YouTube. But anyway, regardless, I appreciate it. Alright. We're about ready to run this thing. Move these over where maybe it'll show under there a little bit better. Alright. Now I gotta tighten this thing up. It's got a hydraulic cylinder on it. I don't know about how much I need to go back. Right there. Boy, she's tight. Alright. Now, let her rip. This has got an auto button on it. I can just sit back and relax and let her roll. No punt intended, of course. Sometimes when you're running, most of the time this thing goes to the left. But this time I noticed it started running a little bit to the right. And I had my pin set back too far, so I moved my pin over to line it up. So, it's just the way the twist does in it. Pretty neat though, ain't it? Speed her up here a little bit. I gotta run 6 strands, 1,800 feet each. But I'm pulling 6 at a time, so that really cuts it down. The thing is, I hope this thing comes out the right length. We've made some changes to the machine, and that roller, for one, being able to turn, it used to didn't turn. But we made some changes to it, so everything that I learned, I had to throw it out the window because all the setup links were different when you use the roller. Because it doesn't have as much friction on it. Now I gotta look into that squeak too. I sent this thing back to have this roller changed, and what they did, it's about a 1/4 inch off. The other side's fine. There's 2 sides of this machine. I don't ever use the back side. But so what it is that shaft and that it's a little cockeyed in that bearing, and so I think it's doing that in the bearing there. So I gotta take it off and put it in my milling machine to mill the bolt hole slots out and move it back a little bit. I'll either have to weld that slot in or probably weld it back in is what I'll probably do. Just so it'll be a fixed spot, but I gotta get it perfect when I do that. So yeah, we do a little TIG welding here too. I do a little bit of machining. I'm not a machinist and I don't call myself a welder, but I used to TIG weld chain slings. I did that for probably 4 years, 5 years, something like that. And got me a 21-inch Clausen lathe and kind of taught myself how to do some things on that. My milling machine, you know. It's just common sense stuff, that's all it is. I like to keep my strands together on the start. That helps. Kind of puts a little bit of a twist in it. If it gets too tight, you gotta move out. I've about waited too long. Tight. Alright, so we halfway through it now. I tell you what, I can't wait till 11 o'clock because I'm gonna go next door and get me a pizza. So I got like, this thing will hold 10 bobbins underneath, and I've showed this before in some previous videos. But the strands come under and go over some tension rods. You know, they just zigzag like that and goes around a roller that counts. And then this right here, rubber lined, it grips it. So, not much to it. Biggest thing to it is the electronics on it, all the relays and the motor controllers and all that. It's got a pretty good sized electrical panel in it, a lot of stuff in there beyond my pay level. And it's got a big old hydraulic pump under there and everything. So that's a well built machine, I will say that. But this customer buys a bunch of these. And, matter of fact, best customer I got. They big. Well, I ain't gonna say the best, the biggest. I got a lot of good customers. I ain't even gonna name any of them because one might get mad if I don't name them, so we're gonna just, and y'all might go out and try to take my customers. I gotta watch you guys. These round slings here are on a 5-to-1 design factor also. These will be tested to 2 times the working load limit, and a certificate will be given. You know, I could just, when I get done, I can just cut this off and don't have to worry about tying it. People say, how's that hold? Well, it's all friction, it's all the rest. You don't have to tie it off. But the reason why I tie it off, because if they're hanging it like this and the jacket's real loose on it, all those ends will work their way down like this and you'll have a big bird's nest down in there. People think something's wrong with the sling. There ain't nothing wrong with it, but there's a lot of people that just do that, just cut them off. But I like quality inside and out. Be about done. There it is. There. Got to run this thing around to my knot, because I like my knot to be under the tag. There comes the knot right there, and there it is, right there. But, yeah. So that's about all there is to it. Ain't nothing special, but if you ain't never seen it, you know, people used to worry themselves to death by not letting nobody see how this is done. But you know, there's so many rigging shops now that make round slings. We all know how it's done. So I ain't got no secrets to hide, but I ain't telling you my counts. Now that's a secret. And I build mine to handle. Now these I build to handle 5-to-1. From my blue slings down, I build them on a 6-to-1 design factor. I'd rather overbuild them than underbuild them. Well, anyway, all I'm gonna do now is tie these off. Well, all right. We got them tied off and taped up right there. Now we're gonna pull the covers up. Them covers on there can make them a little bit more difficult to work with, but we got it. What I'm doing here, I'm just clamping it down to hold it while I pull on it. There we go. Alright, now the sleeve that we flip back, we're just gonna pull her back down. Like so. Make sure we don't have no twist in it. Twist ain't gonna hurt it, but it hurts my pride. I don't like it. Told you I'm picky. Sorry if I got in the way of the camera. There we go. Yeah. And I like to put a pair of vice grips on that just to keep from accidentally pulling it out until I get it sewn up. Yeah, I guess I'm a seamstress too. I do it all. Alright. Now we gotta do the other side. Alright. Let's see how too loose. That I can do it. Yeah, old sleeves get in the way, but it's a whole lot easier to fight this way than try to fight it when you're trying to sew down the sides and the middle and not catch the material. So, yeah, a whole lot better doing it this way. There we go. Fumbling around there a little too much. Where the twist is on this one. See here. Yeah, coming up. Want a little slack in them covers because you don't want the customer to load it, and when the core tightens up, you don't want it to be, this cover to be so tight that you rip the cover. So anyway, that's about all there is to it. So we left this side open here, so we'll lay this over in there and then we'll go to the machine and we'll stitch that up, and then these right here are going to go in each eye, just where it hooks on their hooks to keep them wearing into it, or their trunnions or whatever they got on the side of their dies that they're lifting, if that's what they're lifting. I don't know what they're lifting. It might be lifting rollers. I think that could be what it is, but anyway, that's all there is to it. And we can put all kinds of wear protection on these things. People just got to ask for it. It ain't cheap, I can tell you that. But as you can tell, there's a lot of work that goes into this stuff. A lot of people don't understand. Well, I need these. Well, I need them tomorrow. and there's times that we do it. I mean, I'll stay in, work about half the night just to get it done. But people think this stuff is done fast, and it really isn't. See, I still got to sew this thing up. Got to sew that, put the tags on it. And I still got to test it. So there's can be a couple hours involved in each one of these. It's just like these nylon slings. Well, you know, you take a 20-foot 2-inch. I can do one in I'll probably about 9 minutes a piece. But you know, you got cut time involved, you got rolling time, inspecting time, tag printing time, and people don't understand. We're a manufacturer and not what I call a Kmart. You just don't walk in and get it off the shelf. We make it. Now, with that being said, we try to keep standard stuff on the shelf, you know, standard web slings and wire rope slings, but we've been so busy and short-handed, we ain't had time to do stock. So everything that we're working on is actual orders. So, but anyway, I'll show you the finished product when I get done with it. And I hope you enjoyed this, and I'm glad you guys are watching. Thank you, and I'm out of here. Well, I'm gonna show you the finished product. Now there's a story behind me showing you this. And somebody's mad at me because he's done with it, rolled it up and everything and put it up. I said, hey man, I forgot to film the finished product and we gotta unroll again. I said, the YouTube community, they can get mean if they don't see the finished product. I done found that out by not putting that socket on where everybody could see it. It was a mistake, I'm sorry, but things happen. We're more concentrated on this work than anything. But anyway, are you still fussing at me?
I did all that damn hard work for us to have to roll it back out.
I know,
and look at
I know. I hated to even ask you to do it.
Smalls, y'all are killing
I hated it. But anyway, here we go. Alright. So, the 3-foot sleeves in the eye that I slid on there. And y'all remember yesterday when I told you I forgot to slide them on? Yeah. And we sewed down the middle here, sewed down the sides. So, yeah. There's the finished product. And let's see if we can get this tag in here all right. There you go. Pretty strong sling. And it's tested. What'd you test it to, Stephen? You remember?
Well, the vertical was 66,000,
yeah.
And then double that. Well, y'all, I had to test it and I pulled it to 132,000, which is a lot, and it was a pretty crazy experience having to pull it that much.
Yep. But anyway, I finished it up and just wanted to show y'all everything. And anyway, we out of here.